Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then hi, welcome. My name is Anna, and today I want to share with you guys 10 boy names that I absolutely love, but they just didn't quite make the cut. Start by saying that these are not very common names. Some of these I think that we actually even made up ourselves, but they were names that were on our list when we were pregnant with both our first and second baby, and they just didn't quite make the cut because obviously we found better ones, which were the names that we ended up naming our sons. So I'm gonna go through the list and I will tell you guys a little bit about why we liked them and why we maybe didn't like them. So hopefully you enjoy, and I would love to hear your name ideas in the comments down below. I know one of the reasons that people look at or that watch these sort of videos, I know it's like it was kind of an obsession of mine to watch this sort of videos when I was pregnant, is because you are looking for ideas to name your child. So put lots of names in the comments down below to give ideas for other mamas or dads that are looking for names for their kids. And also I'm just curious of what kind of names you guys like, so put them in the comments down below. Let's get started with the list. Okay, so the very first name on my list I thought for sure was gonna be my son's name because I'm just obsessed with this name, but the name is Hendrix, and I don't know, I'm obsessed with names that have X's on them. I don't know why. Or Z's, I think they just, I don't know, sound cool. But Hendrix is just such a cool name. I thought that my husband would also love it because he's a guitarist, and you know, what guitarist doesn't love Hendrix? But because he's a guitarist, he kind of vetoed it and was like, no, I don't want people to think that I'm just naming my kid after guitarist just because I play guitar. And we do like it, but it didn't quite make the cut. Second name is Gray, like the color gray. We talked about doing Gray Sun, like Gray S-O-N, or just Gray. I love short names, and I don't know, for some reason names that also end in S-O-N sound really cool. So that name sort of looped around a lot, but that seems to be actually getting really popular recently, and so that was the main reason that we decided against that one. Third name is also a color. I don't know why I like color names, but that is the name Blue. I think it's so beautiful. Of course, there is a famous star that has a child named Blue, so that was the reason why we didn't choose it. But yeah, if it wasn't because of Blue Ivy, I don't want people to think that I'm naming my kids after other people's kids, because that wasn't, you know, I don't know, that's not where I found the name. I just like the name Blue, and I actually like the name Blue for a boy. Blue Ivy is a girl, but anyways, we just didn't choose it because someone else just already had it in a different context, and it didn't seem right. The fourth name is actually a name idea that my godson gave me, and I honestly don't know why we decided against this name, because as soon as my godson said it, both my husband and I were like, oh, we absolutely love it. And that name is Maddox, M-A-D-D-O-X. I don't know, it sounds really cool. I think maybe because we kind of liked it right away, we said it too many times and then it sounded weird, and I don't know, I think that's why we ended up deciding against it, but we do still really like it. It's kind of unique, but you know, it still sounds like a name. So anyways, the fifth name on the list is Rem, which originally my husband made that up because he, I don't know, we were looking for names that were not actual names, and so we were looking through the dictionary, we were looking through different books and thesauruses and things like that. Thesaurus? Is that how you say it? Anyways. And he mentioned REM as in sleep, in the you know, sleeping stage in which you are dreaming, which I thought was an awesome idea. That, again, that name circulated for a long time in our heads, and the only reason I think that we decided against that one is maybe because of the explanation we would have to give, and also just Rem Lampman doesn't sound so good, so maybe that's why we decided against it. Awesome name, love the meaning behind it, it just doesn't sound quite right. The sixth name on the list is Dex. I think I mentioned already, but I love really short names and names that have X's and Z's. I think they sound really cool. But Dex, I think people would just automatically assume that it's Dexter, and because of that whole murder Dexter show, we decided against it, but still love the name, just Dex. The 7th name on the list is Jax. Again, another very short name with an X. I didn't want people to think that it was derived from Jackson, even though I also love the name Jackson spelled with an X, but that got really popular, so we decided against it because 19 people that we heard were naming their kid Jackson, and then, you know, if we just named him just Jax, then it would just sound too much like Jackson, so just didn't quite work out. The 8th name on the list is actually kind of derived from the name that we liked originally, which was number 4, which was Maddox, and this name is Addex, and spelled a little bit different, A-D-D-E-X, and I don't know, we kind of came up with that one after we had kind of vetoed Maddox, and so we were trying to come up with names that kind of sounded similar, again, X names, and I think we just said it too many times too. It was like too long. I don't know, we repeated it too much, so we decided against it. 9th name on this list is probably the name that stayed on our list the longest, mostly because my husband liked it so much. I'm pretty sure I was the one that vetoed it. You know, when you're looking for a name for your child, you want something that is, or at least we did, we wanted something that was original, unique, different, but not different enough that they would be made fun of. And so we struggled with words that could be names, and names that kind of didn't really sound too common, and I don't know, I just like it. I think this one specifically was one that I really love, but I thought kids could use against my child in a way to make fun of him at some point. But the name is Winslow. I absolutely love the name. I still do. My husband still does. We thought for sure we could call him Win, and that was really cute. But because the name ends with slow, I don't know, I always had that in the back of my head that maybe some kids would be like, oh, you know, Winslow the Slow, or, you know, I don't know. It stayed in my head, and I just couldn't name my kid that, even though I love the name. And last but absolutely not least, because this is my favorite name ever, but my husband doesn't like it, so that's why it ended up not being our son's name, but that name is Enzo, E-N-Z-O. I absolutely love this name. I actually mentioned it to quite a few people, and I got, like, you know, mixed reviews on it, but I loved it so much. If I would have been a single mom, that for sure would have been my son's name. But when you are married, you have to take both parents' opinions into account. My husband doesn't really quite like it, and so it didn't make it, but I absolutely love it. Maybe one of you can use it if you and your spouse like it, or partner, or if you're alone and you like it. Somebody use it, please. There's gotta be some kid out there named Enzo that I can live vicariously through that mother. Is that how you say it? Anyways. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, for being here, sharing this time with me. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe with the red button down below. Hit the bell to be notified when we post next, and we will see you next time.